Before we get into today's video, I want to make something very clear. I'm not making this video to hate on Call of Duty. I'm not making this because I want Modern Warfare 4 to fail. I'm definitely not making this just to complain. This is genuinely coming from my heart, like a good place in my heart. There are no fabrications here. There are no lies. This is just my honest opinion on Modern Warfare 4 after getting the chance to play in the beta and at COD Next. And before anything else, I am extremely grateful for Call of Duty flying me out and being able to playtest these games early. Overall, just to get a feel for the game and what we're getting ourselves into, I will never take that for granted. I enjoy those moments. But because of all of that, I do feel like I owe you guys an honest review of Modern Warfare 4. Guys, I want Call of Duty to succeed more than you guys will ever know. I even thought, even throughout this entire year, I even thought, you know what if I reached out to Call of Duty, hopped into their like marketing team, or hopped into like a community manager type of thing where I kind of give ideas to the development team to make a good Call of Duty. I would love to do that because I genuinely care about the franchise. I really do. I've been playing Call of Duty forever. I've been playing it in my entire career. So whether every video that I make shows that or not, I genuinely want these games to succeed. That brings me to my first point, the matchmaking. I'm just gonna get this one straight out the way. If you hate skill-based matchmaking, I think you're gonna have a difficult time enjoying Modern Warfare 4, period. Obviously, matchmaking is not the only thing that determines a Call of Duty if it's good or bad. There are way more things to talk about. But the skill-based matchmaking, I know it's just the beta, but it is extremely strong. If anything, stronger than ever. I understand it's a beta. I understand that not that many people, which there was a good amount of people playing the beta. The skill base is extremely strong. And yes, I've tested it. I've tried the 2-box method. I even tried 3-box method. And for anybody that doesn't know what that is, it's basically where you queue with 2 other people that are technically not even there, really. They're bad. They have stats like a 0 KD. And historically, what that would allow you to do is if they hosted your lobby, you would get significantly easier lobbies, right? And in this game, it seems like it's not like that. You can't really do that. You can join people on the open mosh pit. You can join on people with bad stats, but it does seem like the lobbies are still the same. That kind of leads me to a weird point. I think matchmaking is determined by your IP address or where you're located or your historical performances in the same location. I don't know, but what I am thinking though, it is not based off of your actual stats anymore. It's based off of where you created that account. It's weird to explain because I've hooked up 2 consoles where they had 0 KDs. I invited another person that had 2 other consoles with 0 KDs, and we paired up with scumps. So what I am thinking, what I am coming to a conclusion is that wherever you made your account, it also takes into consideration your main account that you created in the same location, and it kind of influences matchmaking. I know that sounds like a weird theory, but I think I might be right on. Back during Modern Warfare 2019, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, even Black Ops 6, these methods could noticeably make a difference. In Modern Warfare 4, it doesn't really work like that. And by itself, that's not necessarily a bad thing. I'm not complaining like, oh, K3 can 2-box, this and that. No, I really don't care. My issue is that if you're going to close those specific loopholes, I would love to see normal matchmaking loosened up a little bit at the same time. Because right now, from everything that I've played, the matchmaking seems extremely strict. Now, if you're in that category where it doesn't seem like it, hey, you're in that category of matchmaking, like where it doesn't really affect you. But if you're at the top tier of playstyle, like if you're a really good player, you're gonna notice it's gonna be difficult. It's gonna be sweaty every single lobby. And I want to clarify something. It's not me saying that I can't play against good players. I'm just saying I'd rather not experience that every single time I queue a game. Because I'm telling you this right now, if strict skill-based matchmaking is an MW4 at release, I don't want you going into MW4 expecting it to be suddenly different. Because right now, as of right now, it is strict. And while we're also talking about matchmaking, I also miss how quickly you were able to jump into these games back in the day. We're talking about Black Ops 1. Go back to the original Modern Warfare 2, the original Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. You would be able to queue into a match, click Team Deathmatch, and instantly find a lobby within like quite literally a second and a half. Now you go ahead and play Black Ops 7 or MW4, it takes about 45 seconds to get into a match. You won't be able to get into a match in 2 seconds. It's impossible. And yes, I understand that the network side of things of Call of Duty changed. You know, I understand back in the day, it was peer-to-peer hosting, right? Nowadays, we're dealing more with dedicated service, which is a good thing, but it kind of complicates the matchmaking system a little tad bit. From a player's perspective, I do miss just clicking on a mode and being able to play instantly. Where I've extremely noticed when you know, Call of Duty introduced some skill base was BO2. BO1, it was slightly in there. I know people were like, well, it was very strong in Advanced Warfare, but no, skill base has always been in Call of Duties. It just hasn't been as strict as before. It's stricter now, what I'm saying. So I want to talk about how MW4 actually feels. This is probably one of the biggest things that I need to correct from what I told you guys Before, when I originally played Modern Warfare 4 back in June, I told everybody on my channel that the game felt a lot like MW 2019. And I meant that I really meant that in June. The build that I played back then, or back in the day, I'm sorry, well, I'm saying like it was a long time ago. The build that I played in June felt really fluid to me. I remember coming back from that playtest and telling all you guys on my stream that MW4 feels like MW 2019, but it looks like MW3. And I even specifically said that the game did not feel or play like MW2. And I have to retract that now, like 100% have to. After playing the version at COD Next and after playing the version on the beta, this does not seem like the exact version that we played in June. It does not. The best way that I could describe this version that we just played at COD Next and in the beta is that it feels like MW2, but with significantly better move. Maybe MW2 with 50% more freedom in how you move around. And that automatically is not an insult to MW4. I've always said MW2 could have been a really good Call of Duty if the movement wasn't as restricted as it was. That's why I genuinely believe that Modern Warfare 4 has the foundation to be a really, really good game. They just have to listen. Loosen the matchmaking. Keep improving the movement. Make getting into matches quicker. Listen to what people are telling you during the beta, because the foundation is here. Now, this is an opinion where I think might surprise some people right now. I think removing Omni movement might have been a huge mistake, and hear me out. I understand why they probably did it. I think part of the goal with MW4 was probably just to simplify things a little bit. Boots on the ground, no wall running, no wall jumping, no crazy futuristic stuff. Removing Omni movement might have appealed to some of the older Call of Duty peoples back in the day who want something to feel more traditional. And I understand that idea. The problem is MW4 still isn't a traditional feeling Call of Duty at all. The movement still feels extremely fast. You could jump onto a car, launch yourself in the middle of the air, go into a slide cancel, transition into prone, start shooting people through all of that. It's crazy. It's still insane, and it's still unrealistic. And I'm not saying this as a bad thing. I'm just saying, why even remove Omni movement in the first place when you have all of these movement features in MW4? It makes zero sense. The game is already going to be as fast as it is right now. I actually think Omni movement would have fit really well in MW4. Realistically, guys, we're never going to go back to the original feeling we had back in the day. And back in old school Call of Duty, I think we've kind of figured out that idea. It's not going to happen. We're probably never going back to 3 basic kill streaks like dogs, heli, airstrike. We're never going back to those unless they remaster it. You know, unless they freaking remaster some old school Call of Duty games. You'll see me on MW2 remaster till I'm 40 years old. We're never going back to extremely simple movement. We're never getting the exact COD 4, MW2, Black Ops 1 type of feeling. Call of Duty has evolved. Look at it as like NBA 2K19, 2K20, 2K21, 22, 23. They're all pretty much it's like Call of Duty. It looks the same, just with different stuff. NBA 2K fans would arguably say, well, I think, my opinion, that 2K13 was one of the best 2Ks. And I don't know. I haven't played recent 2Ks, but you guys can let me know. If you're gonna make a modern, fast-paced Call of Duty like MW4, I almost feel like you should completely embrace it rather than removing something like Omni movement in an attempt to meet in the middle. It's just not even an attempt to meet in the middle. It's just removing a feature that should be in the game. And that's just my opinion. Now let's talk about something that I really like: the gunplay. I think the gunplay feels amazing. Seriously, the weapons feel good to shoot. Getting kills feels satisfying. I've enjoyed trying different guns: the AK, the M4, the FSS Hurricane, and from a pure shooting experience and perspective, I really don't have that many complaints. I've seen a lot of people on Twitter say the time to kill is too fast, and I understand where they're coming from, but personally, that doesn't bother me at all, because if you guys are OG to my channel, if you guys are OG subscribers, you guys know that I was a hardcore player at heart. That was the only game mode that I play. Hardcore was the way. Back in Black Ops 3, I was literally #1 for the hardcore career leaderboards. That was my mode. So I'm already used to people dying pretty quickly in the game, and for me, the current TTK feels pretty close to perfect in my opinion. But this is also one of those things that they can easily change, right? So that's what a beta is for. If Activision gets the data back and the majority of players are dying way too quickly, they can adjust the weapon damage. You know, they can adjust the health. They can adjust individual guns. That's fixable. If you guys remember the BO4 beta, the movement was insane, the health was insane, and they tweaked that when the game came out. The game felt completely different from the beta. Let's talk about the maps, man. The maps are another positive for me. I'm not gonna lie. I think the maps look beautiful, and more importantly, I think they actually really flow well. For the maps that I played so far, I don't really have that many complaints with the layouts themselves. I think the biggest complaint that I have is the doors. I'm really tired of doors in Call of Duty. I don't know about you guys, but doors genuinely need to be removed from every single map. It's so annoying. I genuinely don't understand it. Like, you can literally run to a doorway, just literally smash the door and then get blasted by shotgun because somebody on the other side of the door is just holding a shotgun and waiting to kill you. It's annoying. Dude, this is Call of Duty. This is not Rainbow Six Siege. Not saying that Rainbow Six Siege has doors. Well, actually, technically, they have barricades. So, I mean, you know, it's not Rainbow. It's not anyone. This is Call of Duty. You don't need to tactically breach every single room and check behind 6 different doors before I can move around the map in Call of Duty. They slow things down. You know, they create unnecessary camping spots. And I genuinely think these maps would play better without them. Outside of that, I really like the maps. You guys can let me know your thoughts down below. Let's talk about weapon leveling and progression. One area that I think that desperately needs to be cleaned up is the weapon progression UI, because right now I think it's unnecessarily confusing. Let's say you start using the M4, right? The M4 has something about like 60 levels or so. So you grind it all the way up, and while you're doing that, you're unlocking a bunch of attachments that could be universal to any other weapon. So like a grip that you unlock in the M4, you can use on the AK. That's cool. So now let's say you switch over to another gun that's level 1, right? There has like 70 levels to rank up to the maximum, like the AK. But technically, you already unlocked a bunch of universal attachments from the N4. You might only have to rank up the AK 20 level, but the game still presents the AK as level 1 out of 72, when in reality, there's only 20 levels you need to get to max the gun out. And I don't think that's a very satisfying progression system, and I think it's also very confusing. So I want them to show me clearly what I'm working towards, what I clearly have unlocked, and I think they can tweak that when the game comes out. Let's talk about the camos that were released. The camos look great. I will give them that. The camos look pretty cool. There are definitely some nice looking camos in the game, but my only criticism is that I'm seeing a lot of stuff that feels extremely familiar from previous Modern Warfare games. And I understand there's only so much you can do with camos, but at some point you're going to have another red camo, another blue camo, another digital camo, another tiger camo. I get it, but I would love to see them push the creativity a little bit more. Give me something where I'm like, damn, that's a cool camo. I want to get that. Because in reality, you know, camos and challenges are a massive part of what keeps players playing the game. Here's what MW4 really needs to do right now. And that leads into probably one of the most important things we're going to be talking about in this video. Progression, rewards, and leaderboard. Give players a reason to keep playing. And that's what I want from MW4 more than anything else. Because like I said before, we're probably never going to recreate an old school Call of Duty experience, and that's okay. But one thing those games did extremely well was give you reasons to care about what you're doing. You wanted to level up. You wanted to prestige. Prestige was a huge thing back in the day. Nowadays, I don't really think prestiging now is like really the thing. I mean, people do it, but like people don't want to grind it. You cared about your leaderboard ranking back in the day. You wanted the calling card. You wanted those emblems in MW2. You wanted the camos. You wanted people in the lobby back in the day to look at your account and be like, God damn, that guy plays the game. And I think the newer Call of Duty's lost that identity. I'm just going to say that I think Black Ops 7 tried, but also failed. Yes, there were events. Yes, there were rewards. Yes, there were many things to try out, weekly challenges, this and that. But I never felt true satisfaction from that progression. I never had the feeling like, dude, I need to get on tonight because I need to close in on unlocking this. Modern Warfare 4 needs that. Give us meaningful leaderboards, weekly leaderboards, like not just in a bracket of 20 players, weekly global leaderboards where millions of people are playing a specific game mode, and if you're like top 100, you get a certain thing. Let people grind it out and let that be public. Like, you go into team deathmatch, you should have an option to click lobby leaderboard. Granted, people might back out if they see a person that's ranked #1 in the world, but make it where it's like people know how to access that. Give people something to grind for that actually show accomplishment and achievement. Give hardcore players something to chase. Because if you combine good gunplay, good maps, satisfying movement, and genuinely addictive progression system, you guys got yourself a good game. So here are my final thoughts. Where do I stand with Modern Warfare 4 right now? And I think the game has a lot of potential. And I think it's probably the best way I can describe it. I don't think it's perfect. The matchmaking is still very, very strict. The movement feels a little different from the build that I played in June. I still question the reason why they removed Omni movement. The UI progression system needs to be reworked. I still hate doors. But the gunplay feels great. I like the map. I like the movement that is there currently, although it does feel a little clunky. The time to kill personally feels great to me. And underneath the things that I'm currently criticizing, I genuinely see a really good Call of Duty. And that's why I'm making this video. Not because I want to sit here and trash the game. It's the complete opposite. I'm criticizing these things because I want Modern Warfare 4 to be great, obviously. I want want Call of Duty to succeed. And I know sometimes people hear criticism and immediately assume that somebody's being negative or hating the game, or K3, why are you making this video? You could literally 2-box, dude. You're literally just gonna 2-box. That's kind of like really not the point. I'm not even saying SBMM is the biggest problem. There's a bunch of problems that need to be worked on. I've dedicated a massive portion of my life to this franchise and to YouTube. I want to be sitting here months from now telling you guys that Modern Warfare 4 is one of the best Call of Duties we've had in years. I can't say any Call of Duty that's going to be coming out from here on for the rest of my life is going to beat MW2 or COD 4 or Black Ops 1 or World at War. I'm not going to sit here and lie just because I got invited out to play early. If something's good, I'll tell you it's good. If something needs to change, I'll tell you something needs to change. And right now, Modern Warfare 4 has those pieces. You just have to put them together correctly.